Howdy guys, and welcome to a celebration of life with me, your new host with the most, ALEX Paul Eleftheriou. Gentlemen, the name of this segment is This Is Me because, well, this is me. This is my introduction as I'm brand new to Secret Men's business. This is my introduction. This is my story. This is my trials and tribulations. And with that said, let us begin. On the 19th of September 2012 at around 8:30 p.m., I was riding my motorbike back home from a friend's place, and I was about 1.3 kilometers from home, around about that. I only know that now because of Google Maps, thank God, but I was around 1.3 k's from home, and I was approaching the last set of traffic lights, and I watched the traffic lights go from green to amber to red. Now, there was a petrol servo on the corner that I've cut through not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4, but many, many more. And this time I cut through, and just like I did every other time, I basically went into autopilot. So I cut through the petrol station. As I was getting back onto the road, I was T-boned by a car coming from my blind side, which would have been my left at the time. Now, I don't remember it. I don't actually remember. I just remember cutting through the petrol station, and then that was pretty much it. Getting onto the road, and it was basically like falling asleep. Like I said, I was T-boned by the car, and I was knocked into a coma immediately. The ambulance came. There was a lot of things that I don't really know about because the information I now have is only through police reports. And so the ambulance arrived, they rushed me to hospital. I was in a coma, I was knocked unconscious. I was trying to wake up, so I'm told. I was trying to wake up, and they put me into an induced coma due to the amount of trauma I received. I broke pretty much every bone in my body, from my cervical vertebrae, my cervical vertebrae, pretty much down to my navicular bone in my right foot. I broke everything from clavicles to my shoulder blades, both my shoulders. It was very traumatic. I was in an induced coma for 21 days, where all I can really remember is just very vivid dreams, terrible, horrific dreams, due to the amount of pain I was in and also the amount of medication that was being administered to me at the time. I eventually did wake, which was very lucky, as my friends and family were told to brace themselves for the worst, which is a terrible thing to hear when your 17-year-old son, by the way, I was only 17 years old when this did happen, your 17-year-old son, your 17-year-old best friend is probably not going to make it. Anyway, I did make it, and I'm still here, lucky enough. That's why we're celebrating life right now. So I woke up out of the coma. I had a tracheostomy, so I was unable to speak. I was only able to point out letters on like a letterboard to explain what I was thinking, what I was feeling, what I wanted to say. I remember waking up, and the first thing I thought, or the first thing that came to me, was my best friend's phone number. That was the first thing that came to me. It was almost like I woke up out of the coma and I just wanted to call my mate to let him know what had happened. Turns out he was there in the room with me. So that was a total freak out. And also waking out of a 21-day coma, if anyone's had a hangover before, imagine that, but amplified about 1,000 times. That's what it felt like. It was pretty full on. Anyway, so I woke up out of the coma. I was able to explain things to everyone. I didn't know what had happened to me really, and people were trying to explain it to me, and I was really not in the headspace to be hearing what I was hearing, is all I can really say. So I did hear what was said, but I was also suffering from something a little bit more severe, which was the fact that I couldn't move my body at all. There was no movement. Couldn't move my fingers. I could wiggle my right toes, as I recall. I still can, which I love to do. But that was full on, because I woke up. First thing I wanted to do was scratch my face, I think. But I couldn't. Couldn't understand why. I had a doctor come in and talk to me, and that's when he told me that I was a quadriplegic, that I was a C4 incomplete spinal cord injury. Now, at 17 years old, you do not know what the hell that is, and you just can't process it. The fact that I was never going to walk again, the doctors were blunt. They have to be. And they told me what they needed to say, and I was having trouble processing. To be quite honest with you, it was the last of my problems. I had just woken up out of a 21-day coma. I was not feeling great. Anyway, so on and so forth. Days went on. I wasn't getting better, as in the paralysis. I was still paralyzed. I couldn't move anything, and there was nothing I could really do. Days, weeks, months went by. Nothing changed. I had the tracheostomy taken out of me. I was able to speak now. I was able to communicate with my family and friends, but I was unable to get out of bed. I was unable to move my legs. I was unable to move my arms. I was paralyzed. It was horrible. But, as I said, days, weeks, months, and years have now gone by. And I sit before you, not just a paralyzed being, but a being that's grown, matured, and come to terms with what has happened to me. I'm 26 years old. So this is 8 years post-injury. And I'm still smiling. There's no doubt about that. I am still smiling. Because there's nothing that you can do. Sometimes life will hit you so hard, but as Rocky Balboa put it, it's not how hard you hit. It's how hard you can get hit and move forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's what it's all about. So in a celebration of life, you have to celebrate it every single day. Because every day on this earth is a blessing. I think Mel Robbins said it in a TEDx interview. We are 1 in 400 trillion chance of being born. We have a 1 in 400 trillion chance of being born. Those are some mighty odds. You might as well win the Powerball 1,000 times in a year. Maybe that's exaggerating, but That's what I'm talking about. It's crazy. You got to be thankful for being here. Whether you're black, white, Asian, we're all amazing. So I appreciate the platform that Joey has put me on with Secret Men's Business to be able to share my testimony, to be able to shine a light on very dark nights. That's a quote that I live by. Through every dark night, there will be a brighter day after that. So keep your head up, stick your chest up, stick your chest out, and handle your business, guys. Handle it.